Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20+ years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace your rear brake shoes and drums on this 98 Venture. This procedure is the same for any 97 to 05 Venture, Transport, Montana, and Silhouette. Tools you'll need are 19mm socket and ratchet or your tire iron, jack and jack stands, regular screwdriver, pliers, both regular and needle nose pliers, and some white grease or some anti-seize lubricant.
First you'll want to remove your center cap using a screwdriver. Okay. Some of these have wheel covers that are held on by black caps that you loosen up and then pull the wheel cover off. 19mm lug nuts. If you don't have air tools, if you're just using hand tools, loosen your lug nuts when the wheel is still on the ground, then lift it up, secure the vehicle with jack stands, and then remove the lug nuts the rest of the way.
Okay, and then if you're lucky, you can grab onto your drum and shake it a little bit and pull it right off. Okay, if it ends up that your drum doesn't come off easily, first what you'll want to do is de-adjust the brakes, and to do that, just go to the end of this video and you'll see how I tighten the brakes or adjust them, and you want to kind of reverse that procedure. And then you want to use a large hammer, beat on the drum, and it should come loose.
You can see here, nice smooth surface. This is the braking surface of your drum. And what you want to do is take your fingernail and kind of go against that and see if there's any big gouges or ridges. And also, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see where there's kind of a surface here, and then it goes in slightly, and then the surface. If this surface where it goes in, if that's gone, that means your drum is probably out of specification, meaning you need a new one. And I would recommend, if you feel any big gouges or you see that this surface is thin, that you just get a new drum. So here are our brake shoes. Okay, and you can see that this is a lining material, and it's nice and thick. These are fine, but I'll show you how to take them apart and put them back together anyways. There's actually rivets in here that when these get thin, they'll start scraping against the lining in the brake drum and making a squeaking noise. But these are pretty good. This is your wheel cylinder. Okay, fluid comes in here. Okay, the wheel cylinder pushes out on the brake pads. Okay, and then they rub against the drum, and that's what provides the braking power. This here, in here, it's kind of hard to see, but behind this yellow spring is your adjuster. Okay, that adjuster, when you back up and the brake shoes go out, it's supposed to adjust to keep the brake shoes tight against the drum. Take them apart. You want to use a pair of needle nose pliers. Grab onto this spring, pull it out, and then it just kind of comes out. And then you can just use a screwdriver and pry that out of the way. That allows this whole shoe to come down. There's some parts in here that are going to drop out. Okay. And same thing on the other side. Pry this up and out. Okay, and then this shoe is hooked onto the emergency brake, so it just kind of needs to come off like that, and it comes off. And then this is the emergency brake arm, and then here's your adjuster I was talking about. Okay, you can see that this spins, gets larger, that pushes the brakes out and keeps them into adjustment. Okay, so before we put this together, you want to inspect your wheel cylinder. If your wheel cylinder is bad, you'll start to see some fluid going down here, and if you see that fluid, you want to replace your wheel cylinder. This one looks like it's nice and dry. We're going to take a wire brush, and you can see here and also here, those are spots where the shoes rub against the backing plate. So we're going to clean those off real good. And then there's the other ones. There's 3 spots on the front and 3 spots on the back. Okay, next we're going to take our adjuster. Okay, we're going to clean the end off here, and then we're going to wind it out, clean off those threads. Okay, I'm using a little bit of anti-seize. You can use this, or you can use some white lithium grease. I'm just putting a touch of lubricant where those rub against there. Okay, and then a touch on there, and a little bit on the threads there. Thread that back in. Okay, and this is the other end. Just going to put this on, just kind of even out that lubricant. Okay, here's our original shoe. Okay, new one from 1A Auto. You can see, I just want to show you, obviously I'm going to put these back on because they basically look new. Looks like they've even got spots where they haven't even worn yet. But just want to show you the shoes from 1A Auto, exactly the same as the original. They'll fit correctly and go on there. Okay, so the shoes, you can actually see that they're actually the same. So there's no front or back. But this vehicle has been together before with this one in the front, so I'm going to put it back together that way. But if you're putting new shoes on there, for this vehicle, it doesn't matter which one you put on the front or the back. So we'll put the front one on first. You basically want to kind of put it on there and get it on to the emergency brake lever. Pull out your holding lever. You can pretty much do this by hand. Oh, I got it a little bit. Let's see here.
Quick note here, I just inserted that rod into the wrong place. Just a little FYI, I do fix it later, but hey, everybody makes mistakes, right?
There we go. Now, this goes in, and this longer finger goes in the back, and you slide that right in here. You just want to try and make sure you get it all, push that lever on. Okay, so you don't want to have any space in between there. Okay. Now take a pair of regular pliers, grab onto this. Let's see here. Get this in place better. Okay. Put this shoe in. I just spotting it down on the bottom. Okay. And then you can kind of let go with your pliers. Okay. So the bottom of the shoe should be in place like that. Okay, once you have it there, Okay, so you just want to make sure that the shoes are correctly. Yeah, this one's not even close to what it should be. Okay, made a little mistake with this one. I put the holder into the wrong hole here. That'll work a lot better. Now you want to take this. This is your bracket that held, let's see, your spring. Okay, you want to just place it, go in here like this. There's a little hole. Show you that. There's a little hole it goes into right there, so it stays in place. And then this is the other end of your adjuster, and you want to put it on like that. So what I like to do is kind of pry this out, get it in there. In place. Reach through my finger here, get the adjuster up and all together. Okay, and now what you need to do, so you're back together, before you put that spring on, what you want to do is come to a preliminary adjustment. And how you do that is you basically want it to be just a little bit difficult to get your drum on. You see it goes on easy, shakes all around. You know that the shoes are not adjusted where they need to be. Okay. So I'm just kind of checking down here, make sure that's seated correctly. And you just take a screwdriver and you're pushing these up. Okay. Actually, if I use a smaller hole, I think it's easier. What you want to do is wind it out a little bit, or adjust it out, and then try your drum. Okay. Stop making noise. And that still is pretty loose. You can see I can move the drum quite a bit. You want the shoes to be evenly spaced in the wheel cylinder. Okay, you want to be careful, because if you feel it going on a little too, hard, it might be hard to get off. This is still. So it's starting to get pretty close. So what I'm going to do is wind it out, probably another couple turns here. That's going on pretty tight. So now I'll put my spring back on, so you just put this right in there. Okay. Use your needle nose pliers. Put that together. And then if you want to make sure, there's actually a plug right back in here. I don't know if you can see it there. If you can see it there. Okay. It's pretty easy to especially get from this side. Just take a screwdriver, reach right back there. And it just flew out. That plug allows you now to reach it back from here. See my screwdriver come through, so there's my screwdriver. So now from the back, I can adjust this more if I want to. So I'll put my drum back on. Okay, you notice it went on tight, but now it spins and there's a little bit of drag there, and that's basically where you want it. You want it to spin with just a little bit of drag, because after about 20-30 miles that drag will wear down and you'll have a perfectly adjusted brake. Okay, and if I were to want to adjust it more from the back, you put your screwdriver in there, get hold of that star and move it up, which moves the wheel down. Okay, but I don't, so I'm just going to put my rubber plug back in.
Okay, so I'm going to speed up putting the wheel back on here. Put the wheel on, put the lug nuts on by hand first so you don't cross thread them. Then tighten them up just preliminarily, put the vehicle back down on the ground and torque them to 100 foot-pounds. And then very important, always test your brakes first before you road test. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.